And on that note, to the beat of the rhythm of the night, dance until the morning light. Forget about the worries on your mind. You can leave them all behind. Oh, baby. No? Barry Gordy's The Last Dragon. Bruce Leroy, anybody?
There's probably a reason why there was The Last Dragon.
Probably.
Great movie. It was Motown. It was the Shogun of Harlem. I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about.
Carol's already laughing at it.
Carol is saying...
So The Wiz was also a good movie too, so what do you want?
All right, so that being said, listen, everybody. This is it. This is the Mid-Morning Maduro. What's going on? My immediate powerful right hand to my not so powerful left hand, and that's obvious reasons. I'm not going to get into it. Completely different show.
I don't know whether to be offended or not.
Don't be. It has nothing to do with you because never mind. The motion of the ocean is stronger here than here. But anyways, listen. Shybus, the Irishman, Tully. Stop, everybody. What the hell is that? What is wrong with you, man?
Do you want a list?
No.
Okay.
And immediately to my not so powerful but still amazing left hand, which makes me think it's somebody else sometimes. This is the dude of dudes. This is the main man of main man, Mike the Man Estrigel in Spanish, by the way. Estrigel.
That's not how it's pronounced.
No?
No.
But Spanish. Estrigel.
If you say so.
What's up, Mikey?
Not a whole hell of a lot. Apparently, something's up with you.
Yeah, no sleep.
Go Brooklyn.
No, Lord, I tell you what, man.
I like that song.
It's a great song. I have no idea what the hell you guys are talking about.
I don't think he knows who did it.
No, none whatsoever.
You?
So would you like to tell the public about your commando operations in the night?
Oh, we'll get there. But first and foremost, Mateo Benza, good morning. What's going on, Big Daddy? All the best to you and yours. We are going to revisit the Sweetgrass Gringo so we can all have a Sweetgrass Gringo on hand.
What are you looking at me for? Oh, yeah.
Well, you sure shit ain't that damn pretty, I can tell you that much. What the hell am I
Yeah, there was a slight incident.
Yeah, I mean, there's people looking for you now, right? There's like South Carolinians.
It could have been slightly international.
Oh, my God, slightly. It could have been an international incident.
Well, I'm an international man of mystery.
Can't get this damn thing out. I just hate it when I can't get it out. The cigar sleeve, because I wanted to, look, everybody, it's just a Sweetgrass Gringo. I mean, I know you guys can't see it, but Sweetgrass and Gringo. As Mike does this. Mike does this. Look, it's me, everybody. I'm right here. I'm Mike. I got one. Okay. Hey, man, the masculinity is going downhill. Take it up a couple of notches. Who you beat up lately?
Myself.
Well, now that sounds like a personal problema. My good friend from Puerto Rico, the captain of the USS Enterprise, James Tiberius Kirk, has joined us. What's going on, James? Todo lo mejor para mi gente puertorriqueña. You know that means all the best to my Puerto Ricans, right?
If you say so.
Well,
I'm not a Spanish translator.
Just we can all take Espanol lessons every now and then. Hola, como está? Tobacco. Those are all great things right there. Cerveza, not with a Z, but I'm just saying. Anyways, so
Scream frag out and let that bitch up.
Frag out and let the bitch out.
Light that bitch
and
up.
light that bitch out. Wow, listen, here you go. You're a real one, for God's sakes. What is wrong with you? And remember, everybody, we do not weld. This is not welding class 101. Just a gentle little toast. If you want to go ahead and puff and huff, that's nothing wrong with that. But a lot of times, you see people out there doing this, like, they're like welding class. I'm like, you do that? It's okay.
The only reason I do that is when I'm doing like 80 miles an hour down 77 because there's too much wind in the car.
That's okay, but in a controlled environment, we can do this. Kevin Thompson, good morning. What's going on, man? Kevin Thompson, we've had Kevin here. Yes. He enjoys Coca-Cola with his liquor, and that's why he doesn't come back anymore. Oh, shit, I'm dying here. After a good toast and not so much butter,
Today's gonna be a fun day.
It's gonna be something.
With fun guy. Plural of fungus. There we go. Hopefully we don't lose anybody. Hopefully we gain more people. Listen, oh hell man, I gotta put the website banner. I gotta put the
What the
website
hell
banner.
is wrong with you?
Dude, where do you want to begin, man? There it is right there. www.donyanonlycigars.com. Definitely get on it and not write it, but just get on it and do stuff. I mean, that's I meant like, get on the website. I mean, that's Mikey. That's not right. Rodriguez, Oscar, better known as Oscar Rodriguez, and the main man, doctor and super surgeon extraordinaire, and of course he is GTO Cigars, because those who know smoke GTO. What's going on, Big Daddy? Jimmy Knight, where's the coffee? Right here, cafe. We call this cafe.
Yeah.
And
Wasn't nice enough to bring any for anybody else.
well, shit, Mikey, would you like some coffee?
No.
Okay, there you go then. Mike
It's a little late now.
Mike brought his own coffee. Mike, show us your coffee.
It's not my coffee.
Well, show it. Come on, Mike. You got stretch out. There
There
you go.
you go.
What do you got? It is Tenjaku, a warrior's whiskey. You ever seen this thing? Tenjaku. It's more like 10 jacks you. Or something like I mean, there's like a lot of sexual connotation. 10 jack you. If 10 people are jacking me, that's not going to be, first of all, hail to the no. But I tasted it. It was really good. The Tenjaku, not the concept of 10 people. Never mind. So moving forward, I got coffee. That's all I got. Coffee. There you go.
So, Mike, I think we learned something. We need to get Duncan in bed early and let him sleep in. Otherwise, he just gets weird.
Dude,
This is true.
2:10 in the morning.
I thought it was your turn. Wasn't it your turn to make sure you slept?
Okay, so what were you guys doing
No.
at 2:10 in the morning this morning? What were you doing?
I was freaking sleeping.
You were gone. You were asleep.
I was asleep.
What were you doing at 2:10 this morning?
I was rolling around trying to sleep.
So you were not there. 2:10 in the morning, I was asleep. I was like a bug snug in a rug and all that great stuff. I was in that moment that you transition into the great.
So you were having happy dreams.
Almost there. I was about ready to begin having the happy dreams. And then Jimmy was working. Thank you, Jimmy. I just want to make sure that it was you or that it wasn't you. And all of a sudden I heard like pop, 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 like, 5 huge, loud, banging noises that looked like that sounded like they were coming from my door.
So somebody brought a revolver to the party.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, man, I was, I instinct sort of kicked in because I was half asleep to the world. I rolled over the side of the bed, told my partner, stay quiet, stay down, and I went to get my weapon. I checked everywhere.
Why don't you call me? Say, hey, Tolly, bring the gets.
Didn't see anything. And long and short of it, man, apparently there was a shooting or drive-by shooting on, we live right by the overhang. Jimmy, you know this, right by where you drive by all the time. And one of the far house on our cul-de-sac got hit.
Was any person hit?
No, thank God. Thank God. Everything is fine. But, at a point like that, how do you go back to sleep? I said, the hell with this. Netflix, here I come.
Well, it's a standard Saturday night for some, or Friday night for some people.
Well, I no longer live in Miami anymore, and I don't live in Salisbury either anymore. So, because I heard Salisbury is a little hotbed of a place.
I was just thinking to myself. I was driving up here.
You were like, self?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did say that. Like, self. No, but when I got my first apartment as a young man, when I first got married, I lived in a little bit of a rough neighborhood. I thought about it. I was like, I think everybody should live in like a somewhat sketchy neighborhood, at least once in their life.
Been there several times.
Yeah, well.
It gets your blood pumping.
Well, it just prepares you for the rest of the world.
I agree. This kid right there has spoken gospel. What are you doing? Why are you like all taking it out on that thing?
He's trying to get Tokyo.
Tokyo.
Radio thing, never mind.
Oh.
Static.
Okay.
Okay, Tokyo. Yes, we now know the. See, we lost people. Now we're down to 3. Thanks, Mike. I have no idea.
No, it's not my damn fault.
My water bottles. Space conservation.
So you lived in a rough neighborhood. Did that happen only just the one time in your life?
Yeah.
I heard that 29 Palms is a bit of a rough neighborhood too. Sometimes I'm just saying,
Well,
shit goes down there.
That's only with the desert yetis and the scorpions and snakes.
There you go. Desert Yetis. Who doesn't love a good Desert Yeti story? I love that.
Do you know what a desert yeti is?
Something tells me you're gonna tell me. Do tell.
It's
I know what sand surfers are. I know what ragheads are. Which
yeah.
met a few.
There's a few other derogatory names we can get into.
Scud riders from back in the days. Heard it? Scud missiles. Yeah, there you go. Scud riders.
Desert Yeti is one of the local females that hangs around the base trying to hook up.
Ah, yes.
Usually look like dogs.
Okay, and because we respect and love women, and a lot, we would never use that terminology on ladies, would we?
Sure.
Okay, that's him. I'm just saying that's him. Look, we lost two more. We're losing people for God's sake.
It's not my fault this time.
So Mike, let me ask Mike: have you ever lived in a
sketchy part of the world?
Rough neighborhood?
Does living right on the beach count?
That's nice. What are you talking about? I'd love to live on the beach.
In Maryland, North Beach area, in what was basically a half falling down house.
On the beach.
Well,
did you have shootings?
Not that I heard.
He lived on the beach. He didn't have anything. The hell with him. Matthew Arlen, what is going on, Matt? All the best to you.
Oh boy, I'm out here in Maui. What a rough neighborhood.
No, it was not like that at all.
We're just mentioning some rough neighborhoods that we have lived in that have shaped a little bit of us.
No, but every time it rained, it flooded.
That's not a rough neighborhood. That's just bad housing or bad construction or who the hell knows, or bad weather. Bad neighborhood is like what he's talking about. When I first got here from Cuba.
No, I did not have to walk out of my house carrying a gun everywhere I went. Okay,
right.
Are you happy now?
I think this fits into the criteria of bad neighborhoods. When my family first arrived from Cuba, we lived in an area of Miami that was right by the riverfront district, which was very poor, very bad, and I mean absolutely hardcore, to the point that there were shootings nightly that my mom and dad sometimes would grab me, throw me to the floor, and put themselves on top of me because there was drug deals going on right outside basically the apartment building. There were hookers walking the street. Just dead bodies would pop up in the morning like, hey, look, they found a dead guy in front of the hotel. I'm like, oh, shit, But when I'm telling you, one time I looked at my mom and I said, hey, Mom, what is that thing that's on the bus sign? They had left, taped to it, a bag of cocaine. And I mean like a bag of it taped to it. Apparently the pickup never happened. Somebody never came by. It was like, holy shit, I was like, hey, look, somebody did not swing by and pick up their drugs.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Fail.
Yeah, exactly.
Either that or there was like 5 stops. Later they were supposed to pick it up.
I'll tell you what, man. Now that was a rough neighborhood. But yeah, I've lived in some interesting neighborhoods several times in my life, and as you said, sometimes it can get you a little bit ready. I don't mean that in a crazy bad way. Like Matthew Arlen says, if you didn't get into a few fist fights almost every day, it wasn't tough.
Absolutely.
Been there, done that,
Yeah.
So today we went back to the Sweetgrass Gringo, and all kidding aside, I know you didn't have one, and we didn't coordinate that correctly, and I take full responsibility for that one. But I really wanted the three of us to smoke it again because, in all honesty, it's a cigar that needs to go. I'd say a second go around. I'm gonna begin with my take on it. The few times I have smoked it, I think it's a cigar that literally, maybe if you smoke it once, you're like, it doesn't speak too much to me. It doesn't do this, it doesn't do that. Unless you are looking for some specific notes, flavors, and strengths out of it.
Like a B minor?
Kind of like, it might not tell you everything. But from the onset, from the first one that I smoked, I really liked it because I said, this is a great morning cigar. It's a cigar that I think can transition throughout the day, depending upon whether you pair it with a cup of coffee or a beer or a stronger libation. I believe that Japanese whiskey would do well with that because it's a lighter whiskey and has some really great light notes.
You cannot put a heavy drink with this because it'll overpower the flavor.
Absolutely. Let me see here. Tenemos a Doña Noli con nosotros en esta mañana que me acaba de llamar. Diga buenos días, Doña Noli, está con nosotros.
Buenos días.
She says, all the best to everybody and lots of blessings in a very weak, womanly voice. I have no idea why. ¿Por qué suenas así? Suena como si estuvieras cayéndote. ¿Qué pasa? ¿Todo bien? She is fine. She says, I'm here listening to the birds and smoking my cigar. That's not a bad life.
No.
That's love for birds.
Dice, ella sí le gusta lo otro. Tenemos a Seamus, a tu nieto, y tenemos a Mike. My son and my grandson, she says.
Buenos días.
Yeah, bueno, imagínate, para la próxima. Óyeme, te quiero y ponte a verlo. Acuérdate, ve a mi página y ponte a verlo. So she's upset with me because I didn't tell her about the show this morning. Bueno, te quiero, viejita. Bye-bye. Yeah, I'm about to get a thorough earful from her. Steven Schufa, what's going on, brother? All the best to you. Thank you very much for jumping on board. This is the mid-morning Maduro Saturday edition. I didn't get no sleep. And we're talking about when we go back to certain cigars, we're going to get a little bit more into the Sweetgrass Gringo, but I wanted to ask you guys a question. I'm going to begin from Mike, and then I'm going to go to you. Mike, has there ever been a cigar that you smoked, and you said, you know what? I may need to smoke the cigar again. And when you smoked it again, you're like, oh, okay, I'm glad I did, or I'm glad I didn't. I mean, has there been a cigar like that? And if so, you want to share the story?
Actually, there was a couple days ago, and it wasn't this one.
Okay.
It was one that you had given me. I smoked it, was not real impressed with it. Waited, till the next day, smoked it, got the exact same thing, was not a happy camper.
Perfectly fine. I know exactly what he's talking about.
It was the flavoring of it, and it just wasn't my cup of tea.
It was a one-noter. You said to me,
yes.
Didn't really capture you.
No.
So that's a negative re-smoking. Have you had one that just said, I'm glad I went back to it?
Yeah, this one actually, because the first time I smoked it, I thought it was going to be a lot like the regular barber pole that he does.
Mm-hmm.
Have that power, that punch, and it didn't.
Okay, so you're referring to the Sweetgrass Gringo as opposed to this Stogie Road standard line that Kerry Horney does.
Correct.
Okay, so 35, not Trece. Trece is 13.5, but you're almost there, 13.5. I'm gonna get them. I'm gonna Cubanize these two before they even know it. I'm gonna Cubanize them.
Wait. Just as long as there's no communism.
No. But a little communism never hurt anybody. Listen, I read the book. The book is amazing.
Which one?
Stalin and Lenin. They had it. I mean, they knew what they were writing. They did not know shit about what they were doing, but they knew what they were writing about. Okay, continue.
Okay.
So you went back to the Sweetgrass.
The second time I smoked it, I knew more what to expect and got a better experience out of it.
Okay, good man. So, negative cigar or positive cigar from the get-go that you say, I may need to smoke the cigar again, and what was the end result?
So
it could be any cigar.
Almost every cigar that I smoke that is outside of my norm. So when I smoke a punch, I know what to expect from a punch. But if I go to like a Rocky Patel, I usually never smoke a Rocky Patel.
It's okay. Most people don't either. Nothing wrong with Rocky. I love Rocky. Hey, way to go, Rocky. How you doing? Hey, Adrian.
I think that's the wrong Rocky.
No, trust me, that's the right Rocky right now.
But, well, last time I said anything about it was a Ricky Patel. It's a typo.
Hello. He likes to be called Ricky. Different world.
But yeah, any new blend that I pick up, whether it's something like Fuente when he did his what was the angel hair
Yep. No, that was
blonde.
the my father that we did the pelo de oro, which is the
Yeah.
golden hair. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
So like that one, I wanted to smoke again. I don't think I did. I'll have to.
But one to go back to is what you're
Yeah.
saying. So you would go.
So
Why would you want to go back to that one?
just to confirm what I thought about it, to see if I find anything different after smoking other cigars and giving it some time. But with this one, I smoked one of these probably like 2 weeks ago, and right now I'm getting pretty much the same thing. It's a lighter, obviously it's a lighter cigar, but lighter notes, probably like a really light nutty flavor. You can tell the Candela is actually.
You were just speaking so softly. I mean, you can tell you're a Marine. Jesus, son! For God's sake. Hey, tell us on lighter notes, and my name is Seamus Tolley. I went to 29 Palms, and if they saw me now, they'd all kick my ass. Okay.
Long walks on the beach.
Long walks on the beach that he lived by the way, as he calls it, a rough neighborhood.
Yeah, with 60-pound rucksacks.
Okay, so would you consider that a good or bad experience that you wanted to revisit that?
It was a good experience.
Okay. Has there been a cigar that you said, I smoked it and holy shit, I smoked it again and it's still crap?
Yes.
Okay.
Usually, like, it was a cheaper. I don't think I want to.
Wasn't a Dutch
Name
Masters or
names.
anything
No,
like that.
don't name names. Don't name
But
names. What was the name?
Yeah, it was a cheaper cigar that I bought.
Are the initials RP?
No.
Okay, so
No.
Rocky, it's not you. Let's get that clear.
But actually, I've had a couple of CAOs that I never wanted to smoke.
CAO. I don't know what it stands for, but it's CAO. I just felt like saying CAO. It's like the echo, man.
Are you trying to yodel or what?
The echo is really nice in here, To the beat of
Yeah,
the rhythm of the night.
Till it starts raining.
Dance until the morning. No. Nobody likes that movie. I love The Last Dragon. Barry Gordy's The Last Dragon. I'm telling you, Bruce Leroy fights the Shogun of Harlem. What is wrong with that movie? Nothing. Okay, anyways.
It just doesn't pertain to what's going on here.
It does on many levels. In my mind, it's pertaining left and right.
Well, your brain is like running on like 25% power.
I think there's a squirrel up there on a treadmill.
He's having a seizure.
And it had a stroke and it's just dragging a foot. It's dragging a foot. Anyways,
It's spun around the wheel a couple times.
I tell you what, I'm going to begin with my why going back to this cigar. The very first sample that I got was months ago, and one of the words that I used and I continue to go back to was that it's an enticing experience. Not quite that much speed, Caroline, semi-speed at half speed. I wanted to always revisit cigars that, first of all, my good friend Carrie makes, because I approach them not just as the retail side of like, hey, I want to smoke a cigar and make sure it's a good cigar so that I know what to sell, and whatnot. I approach cigar smoking from my history also within the industry. I mean, I love finding out about the blends. I love finding out about, the factories, who makes it, what's the origin point, what's the story behind it. So enticing was a word that I think I use because it keeps me wanting to know more. So if I don't know about this cigar, I want to know more. I want this cigar to tell me a story, to communicate to me in the time that I'm going to smoke it, everything it can. So,
and tell you why you should smoke it.
Correct. Every time I smoke it, I don't know if this is the same for you guys, I pick up a very subtle burn. I'm not going to say a spice that just burns you, but like a little subtle burn that goes right from the tip, to the side of your tongue, and it's almost like Like when you eat like a good little bit of jerk chicken or like a little spicy food that's not overwhelming but savory, like a savory burn. I get that. I enjoy that. One of the things that I've mentioned about the cigar is that it has these light wood notes. The reason I mentioned that the Japanese whiskey would go well with that is because when Mikey was reading that the other day,
It tastes like bamboo.
no, but they use that fresh oak that you talk about. What do you call it? A new oak.
Yeah, well, it's just a new oak barrel. So
Mhm.
Yeah, an unused oak
Yeah.
barrel is what they've used.
And some of those same flavor notes in there, I think, would pair really well with this. I like the tanginess on the inside of my cheeks. I always look for that. Here's a couple of things that I want people to think about. And Heather Gessler, what's going on, beautiful? How are you doing? All the best to you and your. Now, Heather is a true cigarology girl. I'm telling you, she is a wonderful, wonderful lady.
has
And
she smoked the sweetgrass?
Heather, have you ever had a chance to smoke the sweetgrass gringo? And if not, we have them on the website, so definitely get yourself some. They're absolutely fantastic. They're a local company out of South Carolina, and it's top notch, hand rolled, handcrafted, so beautiful. Like one of the things that I wanted to go back and say to some cigars, and I want you guys to chime in on this. Let's say you buy today, a box of cigars or a 5-pack sampler.
Okay.
Do you guys dive right in, or do you guys maybe let them rest a little bit before you begin smoking? What's your process for cigar smoking? Look, you bought a brand new box of cigars or you bought a 5-pack sampler. What do you guys do? Go, Shames.
That depends on how full my humidor is.
Okay.
So if I look at my humidor and I've got like 5 left in there, I needed to get cigars like yesterday. And if I would like buy a bundle from you, but I would also get like a sample pack because I don't like smoking the same cigar every day. So, I mean, I used to smoke like 2 or 3 a day. I'm down to like 1 now.
Okay, so here's and I think I made a mistake. The reasoning for the question is as follows. When you buy cigars, do you believe that they need to just maybe sit for a little bit to acclimatize to your environment before you smoke them? Or you say, I trust the shop where they came from, that they have been well maintained, and I'm going to light the first one because I want to have it and I've been wanting to do this. The chair recognizes the young Democrat to my left.
Democrat.
Republican.
All right, I was gonna put. You're about to.
Sorry.
It depends on the shop. Now, if it's from your shop, you know that they're right. If I'm, on the road and I stop, I'll probably put it in my travel humidor and wait till I get home and make sure that it's set right.
Stephen Shufeld says he always rests them a minimum 2 to 3 weeks.
I've heard that a lot. I've heard a lot of people let them rest 2 to 3 weeks, sometimes even a couple of months.
Well, here's the thing. And he also added, if they have been shipped. So, interestingly enough.
And it depends on the cigar, too, because I've got one sitting in there that's been sitting in there for like 8 months.
Mm-hmm. So, if you also want to age them a little bit, nothing wrong with, letting them go for a while.
That and I haven't found a good time or special occasion to smoke it.
I have one of those cigars. Not the same one as you, but that leather neck that you gave me.
Yep.
I still haven't found the right time to smoke it.
So here is something that I want you guys to tell me what you think about this. Heather says she always smokes her first cigar immediately, then I let them sit for a bit. She always depends on what I'm drinking that night, and I agree. Again, everybody's got their own sort of format. One of the things that I'm going to begin with is I'm not a reviewer, not by any stretch. My besties here.
You don't play one on TV?
We're not reviewers, but we like to smoke, and we think that we bring something, our own viewpoints to the smoking game, not as reviewers. But when I receive merchandise into my shop or the environment that I'm working in, I literally do it consciously knowing that wherever they came from may not have been at the exact same temperature and humidity as where I may keep my environment at. So that's that. So one of the things that I explain to a lot of folks is when they're buying that cigar is, listen, we keep the humidor here in the shop at, let's say, 72% humidity, 65 degrees, so on and so forth. But you may want to let the cigar sit for a little bit in your humidor if you want to buy to let it sit before you smoke it. Definitely always guarantee that. Always recommend that. If not, I say smoke one just to sort of like what Heather does, get it out of your system. Hey, you know what? I want to have one here at the lounge. I want to have one here with the fellas. I want to smoke a cigar and enjoy it. Nothing wrong with that. But understand this. The humidors where you're buying them from, I don't necessarily blame them too much, because if they have a real good tobacconist that's on top of it, making sure that the cigars are well maintained, the cigars are fresh, properly cared for, even if they have destabilized a little bit from the shipping part and then the packaging and all that, 9 times out of 10, they're going to be right out of the box, ready to go and good to smoke. That's fine. For example, this Sweetgrass Gringo that I'm smoking right now, the humidor room that I'm using here now at the compound, if you will, I have to have it run a little bit richer than where I was at the shop. The reason for that is because it is a home. I converted one of the bedrooms into a humidor, and it's an old house, so there's going to be a lot of loss of humidity, loss of temperature and whatnot
through the drywall and stuff like that. If you put cedar lined walls in there, you wouldn't have that
We
problem.
can do that. We can shiplap with cedar.
Yes, and then Jonathan would just kill me. Absolutely, let's do that. No, you're crazy, man.
Well, I mean, you guys knew this going in.
This is very true. So your cigar I'm looking at has a good burn line. Yours is a good burn line. Mine does not. And I'll tell you what, I pulled their cigars out of a fresh box. Mine, to test the theory, I pulled it out of a box that I have sealed and sequestered away. So that means there's a little bit more humidity wherever the cigar sits. So that will create that little canoeing effect sometimes, right? So this cigar has, you can't see it really well, but it has a little bit of a canoe, and it's okay.
No,
But it's also a barber pole.
Well, is the Canela burning slower than the regular?
So yes, you guys bring up a fantastic point. Thank you very much. I'm telling you, these guys, they hide the fact that they're tobacologists. The Candela wrapper is going to be something that literally does burn a little bit slower sometimes. Where their cigars came from was a fresh box that was open in the humidor and is receiving continual airflow, and so it's actually sitting comfortably. This, I impacted it only, believe it or not, overnight. This is just overnight.
Now I have an unopened box of these same things at home.
But that's a little bit different. Your environment is going to be drier than what I have here, because I have that room is at a 72%, whereas your room environment might not have that much humidity there.
True.
So it'll probably burn a little bit crisper, a little bit hotter, but it shouldn't have any issues at all. Now, on purpose, what I did was I left the cigar inside of my own box. What's going on, Michael? Thank you very much for jumping on board. In a cigar box that has more cigars in it, it has a Bovita pack that is, if I'm not mistaken, 72%, but it's all really enclosed and tight. Just overnight. That means even through the wee hours of 2:10 in the morning when the gunshots were flying here at the OK Corral. I think maybe I put this away 7, 8 o'clock at nighttime. Call it 12 hours. In 12 hours, the humidity has literally acclimatized down enough that it has impacted, of course, a Candela wrapper more than it has the standard Habano Natural. Can that happen to any cigar? Of course.
Mhm.
The flavor has not been impacted. If I would dare say anything else, to me, I think it actually has melded a little bit, even in that time frame, better. I like it. It's really really dry now to me for some reason. It's got this like when you drink like a dry martini that you almost want to keep on drinking and that'll fuck you up real quick.
Yeah, because it dries your mouth.
Exactly. So this actually has dried my mouth a little bit as I've been smoking it, so it prompts me to smoke more. But in essence, it's how you also maintain your cigars. Let's begin with that. I had a discussion actually with Kerry Horn, the owner of Stogie Wood Cigars, some years back. And I don't know if you guys know this or not, or we've talked about this. Let's say you walk into any cigar shop America. You walk into their humidor room, and even the best maintained humidors, the moment you buy that cigar or 5-pack or box, and you walk out of that well maintained environment, from the point that you leave that, you go to your car, get in your car, drive home, get home, put that box or cigars in your humidor. In that time frame, whatever that is,
The humidity has changed.
the process of destabilizing the integrity of that cigar has already started happening. The chair recognizes the young Marine. Go ahead.
So Esteban Carreras has a small 5-pack that they put their cigars in that has like a humidifying backing.
Yep.
And as you were talking about putting whatever container, like your cigars just bought into whatever container, whether it's a bag from your store or a travel humidor like what you carry yours in, how would that, I mean, I bought a 5-pack from Esteban Carreras from you for my boss because he smokes cigars every once in a while, but he doesn't have a humidor. So that 5-pack with the humidifying packaging would last a little longer or a little better than just a regular Ziploc.
Is he maybe a one cigar a day kind of guy, or
more like
one a week?
One, maybe 2 a month.
Okay, so the life expectancy of most of those good quality humidibags, where some stores invest into them so they can have their own, which is nothing wrong with that. And as a matter of fact, Zycar does a really simple one, but it's a very good one with the little water pillows.
Yeah, Hiram and Solomon does the same thing with theirs.
Yeah.
Correct. So Hiram and Solomon does that. Esteban Carreras does it. There's a whole bunch of companies that already make their own branded humidified bags. So let's say, for example, they can send you some free stuff, a couple of bags full of those, or you buy them from that company. That can add a little life expectancy and protect the travel time of those cigars. Now, some of them can last good quality for up to a month. Some can last up to 6 weeks. I've seen them 8 weeks, if that. But beyond that, I really wouldn't. I'd say the life expectancy of any of those bags is a good 4 to 6 weeks tops. That, for the sake of saying, well, I'm going to gift this to somebody, fantastic. That protects the cigars. What I recommend always is tell them, if they don't have a place to store it, the crisper all the way at the bottom of the refrigerator, they can put it there. It's a very cold, moist environment, and that actually adds to maintain your cigars for up to 6 months or more.
But wouldn't that crystallize the starch?
Correct. It actually crystallizes the oils that are still inside the tobacco. So what you do is, at that point, you take the cigar, and before you smoke it, you treat it like a fine bottle of wine.
You take it out.
I was going to say, what do you do? Put it in the oven?
No, put it on the counter and let it sit for a couple hours.
Exactly. No. Not even. Believe it or not, you don't let wine air out for a couple of hours on
It
cork.
depends on the wine.
Let me give you the easiest tip. Again,
All right.
this is not written in stone. I'm not Moses or that guy. You can take the cigar, simply do your favorite cut wherever you like it. On the cap, whether it's a V cut, a straight cut, a punch, whatever you like, and then leave it alone. Now you have airflow going into two different little areas, cap and foot. Within 15 minutes, that cigar will now have acclimatized to the environment where it's in. So all the oils will have now softened up and permeated that cigar again. So when you literally toast that foot and you light that cigar, it should be as fresh as anything at that time.
You realize there's about to be a bunch of people that are just going to stuff their refrigerators with cigars, and their wife's going to be like, "What the hell is this?"
I know
actually-
a bunch of guys who already do that.
Actually, my daughter and her husband, they lost their humidor.
What?
By lost, I mean if they didn't maintain it and
Oh.
lost the humidity in it.
I was about to say, where the fuck did I put that humidor?
Well, I mean, when they don't have anything on it, they just stick it on a shelf and they forget about it.
You're about to lose it.
No, I'm actually correct it. That's
So-
another tip we're gonna give right now.
So
Honestly, I think that's going to fall off.
Oh, it will, but not before it autocorrects.
it'll burn all the way
Right.
through. Yeah.
And that's a good thing. Go ahead, Mike. Go ahead. You keep interrupting Mike. He's got so much stuff to tell us today. Go, Mike.
So in order to
I
save
think
what
I'll
little
grow a mustache.
I'm gonna-
Show him what you did.
Is that-
Show
is
him
that-
what you did. Show him what you did, Mikey. Get that sheet. Get that sheet of paper over there. Get that one.
No.
Mikey did a lot of pew, pew, pew. the
I
other
sighted
day.
in a gun yesterday, okay?
He sighted in a gun.
Did a good job.
Anyway, in order to save the cigars that they had left, I gave them your tip. Put it in a Tupperware container with like a little bit. In their case, since they had lost it, I told them put like a damp sponge in there too,
Mhm.
and they were able to save most of their cigars by doing that.
There we go. That's a great tip. That's a great idea.
And they stuck it in there. It's still, to my knowledge, it's still in the bottom of the refrigerator. But I always tell
Hopefully,
people-
the cigars are being smoked.
Hopefully,
Hopefully.
I cannot vouch for that, but
We
yes.
can all hope. We can all hope. So,
But I always tell people put them in a hard plastic container,
with
not
a
a
good
plastic,
seal. With a
right?
good seal.
Because if you just put it in a Ziploc bag, people are going to end up throwing stuff on top of it. You're going to crush your cigars.
Yeah.
And that's not a good thing.
Something's about to get burned in my lap.
Yes. 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 Look at that. And in a very odd, weird way, we autocorrect it. So, and that's another thing. Most good, well-crafted, quality cigars, when they canoe a little bit, that's okay. You should be able to correct that cigar without having to touch it up with a flame and all that stuff. You can if you want to. But the real sign, and I've said this to, both of you guys and to a lot of folks, is the real sign of the craftsmanship and the quality of a cigar is that if you canoe it, then you can do it. Oh, I like that. If you canoe it, then
That sounds like a T-shirt.
yeah. So if it canoes by puffing a little bit, more, just get that cherry really, really nice and hot.
You almost hotboxed it.
Exactly. The heat will expand outwards. And when it does that, it begins the process of correcting that canoe. And thereby, your cigar will self-correct. So that's also a good thing right now.
Or you can cheat and just burn that part that's going to.
You can. But I'll tell you what, it was the rep for the Fuente brand who told me very seldomly, if ever, has he ever had to touch up a cigar because it did that. He goes, a good quality cigar constructed well, you can do that and you should be able to get that cigar back to where it needs to be.
Well, the cheating would come down to patience, whether you have the patience to actually let it autocorrect.
Yeah, that's true too. Well, we got patience. She's a nice girl. So, flavors that you are picking up on this thing, anything, would you like a water? Look, I haven't even opened it. Would you get for
No.
water? I'm just saying. You got water there.
That's all right. I
didn't drink from there. Just saying, just in case.
It's okay. I've already crushed mine.
He crushed it.
But I actually, as you were talking with Mike, I picked up some of the sweetness that I may not recognize the first time I smoked it. But I was smoking it, hit me, and I was like, oh, there's that little bit of sweetness.
Hence the
that-
name.
Well, of course, hence the name. It's sweetgrass gringo. This thing's bitter as hell. Like,
Jesus, this thing tastes like damn lemons, and not the good kind. No, of course, I'm with you.
but like what you were talking about earlier is that re-smoking a cigar, you may find things that you haven't realized the first time through.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things that I picked up. Like the first time, I'm gonna annoy you a little bit, but
Do tell. That never happens. Go ahead.
I smoked a Filthy Hooligan with a Candela wrapper, and then I smoked this one,
Mm-hmm.
and I was gonna compare the two.
Okay. Nothing
And
wrong with that.
I don't know if it was because I smoked the Filthy Hooligan first, or maybe I just wasn't as receptive to it. I wasn't paying attention enough to it as I was driving and smoking. But the first time I didn't pick up that sweetness that I do now.
What was the time frame between the Filthy Hooligans and the Sweetgrass Gringo?
A couple of hours.
Okay, so that's not bad. Were you drinking water, coffee, anything along with that? Do you recall soda? Moonshine. I mean,
Did you cleanse your palate in any kind of way? Is what he's asking.
I think I was drinking water, but I might have also had a Body Armor drink that has
great stuff for
It
those
is
who
really good.
never had that body armor. I live by that. Look at this body; it's all armored up
no.
with fat.
It was
Armored up with fat.
it's a lot like a Gatorade.
It's supposed to be better for you.
Yeah, it's strawberry banana.
Yeah, yeah. We're not sponsored by them, so fuck that shit. I don't give a damn. Anyways, but so you've gone back today. You picked up a little bit of sweetness. I think also the water. That's why I'm stepping now away from the coffee, which I'm done anyways with, to begin with water.
I finished my coffee, so I'm going to step away from it for now.
Yeah, because I'm
Now's
done.
a good time to
Now's
quit.
a good time to quit. I'm all out.
It's the best time to quit.
Sometimes a cigar can tell you a story with whatever you're pairing or however you're drinking it or whatever you're going to be doing with. So keep that in mind. I mean, a lot of times, you're having a nice whiskey, you're having a bourbon, you're having a beer, you're having a cup of coffee or just a water or nothing. And that cigar's dynamic can change vastly.
Yes.
Brutally honest, I really didn't enjoy my Sweetgrass Gringo as much as I normally do last Wednesday because I was puffing it too much. I was hot boxing. I was smoking it too quickly.
You got that burnt taste on your tongue?
No, not really. It was more like I was getting a little too much heat, but not burnt. You know what I mean? Like, it was just a little, not quite like I was missing out on the flavors, but I think it was just a little too hot.
So you didn't quite get to the hot tobacco taste.
No, I wasn't enjoying the subtler taste. Also, I mean, I really wasn't doing
a
that.
lot of hot tobacco. Look, guys, I'm canoeing. I canoed it.
You a little bit. You are you're semi canoeing. Mm.
Did you bring your oar?
No.
Not to be confused with this. This is this,
Okay.
not this. Not that kind of show. Not
That's
that
cross
kind of
country
show.
skiing.
Yes. And as you swoosh, swoosh. So the reason I've asked all these kind of awkward and weird questions about the Sweetgrass Gringo is a lot of times reviewers love you guys. You guys are the ships by which we all sail, not me. Reviewers.
Are you really trying to?
Yeah,
Or are you just lying?
No, I mean, listen. People who do the reviews and who started reviewing cigars years ago, God bless you. There's nothing wrong with that. A lot of them have become very successful reviewers. Really, really, people who set the bar by which a lot of their friends and fellow cigar people follow and buy those cigars, which is great. They become, in and of themselves, influencers, if you will, within this industry. That's fine. I agree, not a problem. But at the end of the day, it's like my good friend Bob the Cigar Guy says, it's your money, it's your palate, it's how you want to smoke it and how you want to enjoy it. When I approach a cigar, maybe my bias is my background, my semi-expertise in the industry, the fact that I have blended, the fact that I have rolled, the fact that I have walked fields, that I have looked at, everything from the the damn seed to the smoke aspect of that. And I'm a nobody in this industry. Considering what I know is tiny compared to some of the real guys who do this. But when I get stories of people telling me or hearing stories that, well, the cigar, it did this and the cigar did that and the cigar blah 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 and the cigar, and I go, let's begin with how you treated that cigar first. Let's begin with the fact of the matter: did you believe that the cigar maybe needed some time to acclimatize? If you are a person who reviews cigars for a living or just as a side fun gig because you like the fact that they're going to send you freebies, that you're going to get a little, oh my God, I'm getting my t-shirt, oh my God, I'm reviewing his cigar, oh, fuck that shit, or hey man.
So you're technically a paid reviewer at that point.
Yes. Anytime you receive even one free thing to get your cigar reviewed, you're biased. I mean, am I wrong in sort of saying that?
No, because
please tell me. I mean,
no, everybody is biased one way or another on everything. You cannot be unbiased. There is no such thing as an unbiased thing.
One of the things that I did with this, I bought a box just for me, and that's the box that I got one cigar out of, and I left the other ones outside for you guys. So I bought the box. I supported 100% Kerry Horney, the owner of Stogie Road Cigars, Edición 35, and the Sweetgrass Gringo. I'm not saying that every reviewer should do that. That's not what I'm saying. But if you're going to come at it, you got to be completely...
Well, you've got skin in the game. You put the money out front.
Right.
Because
Yes.
If it's given to you, you're like, all right, I like it already because it's free.
Right. That's your bias in that way.
Right.
100%. If you tell me, hey, Dunk, I'm going to give you, a couple of bags of coffee and tell me about the coffee and put a review. Okay, so now I'm getting free coffee. Man, this coffee is the shit.
Because you're going to want more free coffee.
Right.
I've always looked at the idea that if you're going to be a reviewer of any kind, cigars, coffee, skinny jeans, if that's what floats your boats, I have never worn a skinny jean a day in my life because...
Or a reviewer of whiskey, whatever.
One, I don't like skinny jeans. Whiskey I do like. So if you're going to send me a bottle of whiskey, hey, I love the whiskey. It's the best whiskey ever. I'm just saying. So you got to come at it as a true review, as a real review. Put your hand in that fire. Say, you know what? I want to try it. Maybe randomly go to a cigar shop, a brick and mortar location. Thank you very much, Marshall Morgan. I appreciate that. Marshall, you are the man. Like, for example, Marshall works at a great cigar shop. If someone goes there, and Heather Gessler, there you go. If I loved it, I'll tell you. If it's not my favorite, there you go. Thank you very much. If you are a reviewer and you want to experiment with a cigar that has just arrived at a local cigar shop, well, guess what? Go support that local cigar shop. Buy maybe one to review and one for yourself, and go home, leave them alone for a little bit so they can acclimatize to your environment, and then say, okay, now I can approach this review completely clean and clear conscience that I'm going to do a good job by it. So then you can say, hey man, the cigar sucked balls. No one can tell you then anything because one, it's your opinion and that's okay and you're entitled to it. But you did it, in my opinion, also, my stupid opinion, supporting a local enterprise, a local mom and pop, a local place that you're like, wow, I got 2 cigars. The first one I smoked it, didn't really do it for me. And then I went and did the review on the second one because I wanted to give it the second shot and it still didn't pan out. So that's what it is. I've smoked the Sweetgrass Gringo going on 5-6 times right now. Here's my review. I'm going to leave it at that. And then if you guys, because I like what you said the other day, the 1 to 10 sort of scaling of it. Strength level 1 to 10 on this cigar. It's a straight medium. It's a friendly cigar.
I would agree.
For anyone. I let mine sleep for at least 2 weeks. There you go. Marshall lets them, take a nice 2 week sleep time. Nothing wrong with that. So I would say a 5 to 6, if that, on the strength. I wouldn't give it more than that. Flavor profiles, I enjoy them. I consider this to be a medium plus. Some flavor dynamics started for me changing at the onset, and then I'm waiting for the little change. I like the dryness. I like the woodiness. That's very mild. I like that little sweet hay, if you will. Construction wise, like I said, the draw is on point. So construction to me is 8, 9, really good airflow, good smoke, good smoke output, no plugs, no nothing. And then I want to say, the value at $10.50, I think it gives me everything that I'm looking for. I consider it a little bit more on the premium side, but it's a fantastic cigar at that price. I'd say value-wise, it's an 8 to 9. It's okay. It's a little high, but it's okay. I definitely have bought cigars over and over again that were far more expensive than that, and I didn't mind them. Let me see. So my criteria is flavor, construction, and strength and value. So for the flavor, I give it about a good 5 to 6, all in. Strength, no more than a 6. Value, it's 8 or 9. I think it's really, really actually construction minus the canoe, because I did that to see what would happen, and it auto corrected. I'm gonna give the construction also around an 8 or 9, and then the value, it's definitely well worth the value, 8 or 9. So it's what I consider the first two parts, the flavor and the strength, a little bit on the lighter side. It's a great middle of the road cigar that's friendly to everybody. So I'm not looking for a kick-ass strong cigar. I'm not looking for overwhelming flavors, which, Seamus, I don't know. I know you like to smoke heavy, but if you got a buddy that doesn't smoke as heavy as you, would this be one that you could recommend and say, hey, you might like this because...
Right. That's what I was thinking about while you were talking is...
Because I talk a lot, by the way. You can think for days.
Well, this really wouldn't turn anybody off from cigars. People they see cigars, they see like big tough men smoking cigars or like stuff like that. Like, oh, I don't know if I could, if I could handle smoking a cigar. People don't want to get sick from the nicotine or things like that. This really, it won't do any of that to you. Although it still has flavor, you're still gonna enjoy it. It's just not gonna kill you.
Okay. So let's begin with this. Flavor, 1 to 10. Where would you put it at? 1, no flavor. 10, mind-blowing flavors.
I agree a lot with what you said before. It's about a 4 or 5 on flavor. It's pretty light. The smoke about 5 or 6, and the value is 6 to 8.
Okay.
So a lot like what you were saying is,
Solid. I like that. Mikey, I'm gonna say, if you were saying, flavor profile 1 to 10, 1 nothing, 10 really overwhelming, what would you? And I'm gonna ask you the breakdown because I want to see what you get. You and I smoke very similarly,
Right.
So flavor, where would you put this at?
I would put this at about a 5.
Okay.
Smoke, it gives a good, if you like to see a lot of smoke, it's great on that.
Trust me, there's a lot of smoke in here. You guys may not see it, but there's a lot of smoke in here.
This would be a good cigar for somebody who's transitioning from a Connecticut, moving more towards a Maduro.
Let me see. Do I add a pairing with a straight? So in this cigar, real quick before I go back to Mike, Marshall, what I always recommended is keep it on the lighter side. For example, if I may, real quick, this is a blended Japanese whiskey. It's called Tenjaku. Not 10 guys jacking you. Not that one. Completely different whiskey.
That's
this
40%.
is 40%.
Yeah.
It's a nice light whiskey. Very enjoyable note. So if you do want to do a whiskey or a bourbon, I say keep it on the lighter side.
Yes.
A good beer,
a good beer. And actually, the Jameson's IPA went really good with this because it was a lighter Jameson
Yeah,
whiskey.
yep.
So you want to stick with lighter whiskeys, and I mean, if you're not drinking alcohol, a lighter tea would work.
Look at that. If you're not an alcohol drinker, a good quality, nice light tea also
Yeah.
with this. Morning cigar. Would you guys consider this also a good morning
Yeah,
cigar?
this would be a
This is
yeah.
my first one this morning. So.
Yeah.
That's his breakfast cigar right there.
Yeah.
Very enjoyable. Value wise, do you feel that you get your whole value 1 to 10, no value 10?
I think you get great value out of it, especially with the construction and everything else, the way it burns, and it'll last an hour easily.
So here's the other one. A very important question. Would you go back and buy it again?
Yeah, I would.
Okay. Would you go back and buy it again? And you're not going to hurt nobody's feelings.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I was just thinking to myself, not to hurt anybody's feelings, especially Carrie. Carrie puts out a great product, but it's a little too like
for you. Okay, so then it's basically what your answer is consistent due to what you enjoy smoking. So what's a regular cigar for you so that people can also understand where you're coming from with that? What would you say this is like a full body, this is a big smoke that I do? What's like a go-to?
LFD, double Lajero.
So there you go. That's why, yeah. That punch the album. So Seamus smokes really, really heavy, full body, full strength cigars, which I understand that. So
that's your fault, by the way.
well, this is very true. So this might be the cigar that you might go back and smoke again, but it's not like the one that you pursue because of your choice and your enjoyment factor, not because of negatives to the cigar.
Right. Well, I'll smoke a Connecticut or a lighter cigar very rarely. Depends on what I'm doing. If I've had like 1 or 2 heavier cigars earlier in the day and it's getting kind of later, like when we would sit around the shop playing cards or whatever, I'd probably pick up Connecticut like around
to round out the
cigar.
Yeah.
So you actually do the opposite. You smoke lighter at the end of the day to
taper off.
Exactly, as opposed to you start out full on. Let's get this shit on the road right now.
Well, I'm up at 4 in the morning every morning, so
Better you than me.
I need a kick in the mouth.
Fuck that shit. No, hell no. I just want to say to the reviewers out there, if you review, you got to really approach this with some semblance of knowledge. And by that, I mean nothing against you. God bless you. What is your skin in the game? Because if you're being paid in any which way, shape, and or form to smoke that cigar, or not, maybe you're not. Maybe the brand owner said, hey, I want you to smoke my cigars, and I can't pay you, but I'm going to send you 2 free cigars. Okay, nothing wrong with that. Perfectly fine. I'm going to challenge you. Why don't you guys ask that brand owner, hey, is there a local B&M? Is there a local shop? Is there a local grab and go that I can go support that currently has your cigars? If not, then say, well, listen, there's not, okay, then send them to me or whatnot. I'm okay with that. It's a great way to truly support what's going on in the industry right now. It's a great way to really put your skin in that game. And you know what? You're doing 2 wonderful things. Really, you can approach a cigar with the utmost honesty. You can approach your bedtime pillow sleep with saying, I today supported a local shop or a website or whatnot. So those are things that I recommend to anybody who wants to play the review game. Me personally, like I said, I've smoked a lot of stuff that brand owners have sent to me, but it is because I carry their brands in my shop. I'm familiar with them. I know what they smoke. I know what they produce. I know what they have. As a matter of fact, the ones that I gave you guys from GTO Cigars not so long ago, you were not here for that one. I don't know if you had a chance to smoke that one or not.
I did.
Oscar sent that to me for free, said it's a brand new blend. But we're familiar with GTO and we enjoy GTO cigars. So we knew sort of, hey, we're all in. And these guys, they buy their cigars always from me. If I'm handing them a cigar, I've bought that cigar for the shop. So hands down, there is skin in this game always. And I've always said, don't hold back. I don't give a rat's ass whose cigar we're smoking. they need to know, and we need to know the yes and nays. But don't attack a cigar, and don't come at a cigar without really understanding that maybe, just maybe, that cigar maybe needed to just sit, rest. Maybe that cigar needed a little bit of attention. Maybe that cigar needed to be read about a little bit more, and have a deeper understanding before you do the review. Sometimes, you know what the best reviews are? Take everything off the damn cigar, throw it away, leave it there, and then smoke it. Forget about it. So in your mind, you're not seeing that image. All you're seeing is the cigar.
That's a good point.
Try and get rid of all of the biases you may have.
Yeah, because nothing wrong with, if somebody had handed me this cigar minus this, I would have thought, hey, maybe it's a Filthy Hooligan, or maybe it's another Candela Barber Pole or something. And I would have said, not a problem. When I first received the cigar sample from Kerry, we were already carrying Edición 35, the Stogie Road. And he said, I want you to smoke this and be brutal. His words, not mine. And I went for it. I said, there was nothing on the cigar. It was just this. And I said, okay. I waited a week or so before I even smoked it. Kerry will tell you, and you guys know this because you guys have given me cigars and you have said, hey, have you smoked it? And I go, no, I haven't smoked it yet. I'll put a cigar away for months and not even smoke it. Oh my gosh, shit, I forgot I had the cigar. Now I'm going to smoke it.
Did you smoke that Camacho?
Which one?
The one in the red box.
The Liberty. Fuck yes, I smoked that shit. Yeah. No, I waited till end of the year, but I smoked it. So it was one of my go-tos. But you had given that to me almost a year before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yes, as a matter of fact, the little empty coffin is floating around here somewhere. So again, it's just nothing negative, nothing bad. But to all reviewers, thank you for what you do. Honestly, thank you. You guys do help out to promote cigars. You guys do help to do a lot of great stuff. But what's going on, Christopher Frazier? You got to, man. You got to. One day, Chris is in Virginia. If you ever want to come down, man, at 11 o'clock on a Saturday morning, come join us, hang out with us, smoke a cigar with us, and just you know, we just have fun. So if you're a reviewer, thank you, truly. But maybe focus a little bit on how you do that review. You know, truly come at it from the most objective point of view. And you need something more than just it's a good cigar or it's a bad cigar. That doesn't cut it for me.
We need to know why you liked it or disliked it.
Yeah, I have never, when someone tells me, oh man, that cigar sucked, the very first question out of my mouth is like, why? Tell me why. Or that cigar is great. I love that cigar. Why? Tell me why. That's all there's to it. And the last thing I want to hear is, well, it's my father's cigar. I go, well, great. I love Pepin Garcia. I know the man. I would fucking, if he put a turd rolled up and put a ring on it, I might smoke it. But beyond that, why? You know, don't tell me this.
Because it's a name doesn't mean anything.
Padron. I love Padron. Who the hell doesn't love a Padron? But let me tell you, I think Padron dropped the ball on the Damaso series, which is their Connecticut. Personally speaking, won't smoke that again. Smoked it a shit ton of times, back to back, went at it. Doesn't do it for me. And I love Padron. I grew up literally minutes from the Padron factory and headquarters in Miami. So trust and believe, this Cuban has smoked Padrons that you may never have even smoked. So, and I'm like,
how long did you wait to smoke that Padron I gave you?
Not that long, I can tell you that much.
Immediately.
And there you go, Marshall. You know, Tobacconist University. It's a great thing to see that you are reviewing. And if you approach it like that, Marshall, you say, I'm going to support, I'm going to do it the right way. That's the kind of reviewing we need. That's the kind of people that I would read completely your review. You know, talk to regular blue collar guys. Say, hey, I'm gonna today. Let's buy a couple of cigars that are the same, and let's all smoke it, and let's have a back and forth, as the French would say, a tete a tete. No tits, a tete a tete. I don't even know what the hell that means, but they say that.
Are you sure?
It's French. It's it's a French thing.
Where are you getting your information from?
Not the French, I can tell you that much. Not the French. Listen, guys, we have gone above and beyond. We've taken up all these people's great time. It's a Saturday morning.
Yes.
You guys need to go back and enjoy your Saturday morning cartoons. I know, and I got two cartoon characters here with me. We're probably gonna hang out a little bit longer. We're gonna just chill. But listen, my take on the Sweetgrass Gringo. If you haven't smoked it, for fuck's sakes, smoke the damn thing. You're absolutely gonna love it. Support your local B&Ms that are carrying it. If you don't know any, if you want to, I work directly with Kerry Horney. Contact me. I'll make sure that we can set up an account for your local B&Ms. We'll definitely make sure that in their humidor you can find the Sweetgrass Gringo and also the Stogie Road Edición 35 as well. So whatever you guys need, I'd love to help you with that. Absolutely. And for women, let me tell you right there, Heather Gessler. She has a fantastic. Heather, I want to have you on the show. If you're listening right now, let me know anytime. Heather is a fantastic cigar woman. Absolutely.
And you can always do it on StreamYard. So
yeah.
You can call in.
And listen, nothing wrong with what I'm about to say because I respect women to the utmost degree. I don't smoke a cigar because a beautiful, young, vivacious woman is smoking it. God bless that. I smoke a cigar because a woman, a real beautiful woman, inside and out, smokes and enjoys her cigars. That's why. I think that to me is awesome. Fellas, any last words, Seamus?
One thing off the topic.
Off the top. Go ahead.
Cigars is I got a new shirt. It says KFG.
Yes, I
Keep
noticed.
freaking going.
Keep freaking going, baby.
But it's from a company. It's the Till Valhalla Project, and they do really great things for Gold Star families. And if you're unaware what Gold Star means, usually, well, not usually, it's all the time, it's families that their sons or husbands or people like that have died in combat. So what they do is they make these shirts, and with these shirts they sell them, and that funding goes to make a memorial plaque or a shadow box for the family.
I definitely need to get me one of those shirts. How much are the shirts?
This was $25 or something.
Where is it on? Is it a website?
It is a website. It's just Google Till Valhalla Project. I've got a hoodie and I've got this shirt,
Till
and I got a bunch of really cool designs. So
I hope I spelled it correctly. I'm gonna put that right there. So if you guys are interested, Google Till Valhalla Project. I think that's a wonderful thing. You cannot go wrong with that.
all right.
Mikey, any words to take us home?
I think everything's been covered so far.
I hope so. It's been covered. I mean, trust me, the last thing you need is us uncovered. That's not pretty at all.
No.
And John Stone, no, I'm not hungover, but I did not sleep well. There was a lot of guns blazing at 2:10 in the morning. So my last ones. Thank you very much, everybody, for allowing us to come into your time, into your homes, into your phones, into wherever the hell we're at right now.
Ear holes.
Ear holes.
Yes.
That's really weird imagery right there, but completely. Anyways, moving forward.
Leave it to him to take
Yes. So thank you really, really a lot, everybody. It's been fun this morning. Sweetgrass Gringo, man. I'm all in. And I know that, John, you bought Sweetgrass Gringo. You actually stocked Kerry for them. So you bought 2 boxes. You got yours. I mean, it's like, hell, that's fantastic, man. So that's support above and beyond. And that's what we need in this industry. Not just this cigar sucks or doesn't suck. Plain and simple. Love everybody. Keep it real. Keep it going. And Till Valhalla Project, wonderful organization. Doña Noli Cigars right there. There is bigger and better headed, hopefully, very soon our way and yours. God bless everybody. Thank you so much. Smoke well. We do.